World Between the World Wars, Part 3. Second World War 1939 to 1945. The reasons for Second World War. The Treaty of Versailles and the League of Nations, German challenge to the wingful domination, fear of socialism and Russia. At the end of World War I, the Conference on Peace took place in Versailles in 1919. The USA, UK, France, Italy and Japan participated in this conference. But Socialist Russia, Germany, Austria, Turkey, who were defeated in the World War, they did not invited. To weaken the Germany, the Treaty of Versailles imposed some territorial penalties and military cuts. The first one, the Germany was asked to return its colonies in Africa occupied in 1880s and European areas like Alsace-Lorraine, which they had occupied from France in 1871. The secondly, it was asked to pull down its army strength from 9 lakhs to 1 lakh during the World War I. It was also asked not to have submarines and restricts its naval strength to 6 battleships of less than 10,000 tons and a dozen of torpedoes, missiles, carriers and destroyers. The failure of League of Nations. It eventually failed to prevent Germany, Japan and Italy from violating international agreements and attacking other countries because these countries are not invited to the League of Nations and they did not become a members in League of Nations. That's why the Hitler did not listen the words of League of Nations. The Germany wanted to get back the territories lost by them in the Treaty of Versailles, and Nazis developed a massive army and armament industry which could only be served by a war. The working class turned to ideologies of socialism and communism. The Russia became a communist state in 1917. Russia became Union of Soviet Socialist States USSR in 1922. The Western capitalist countries like the Britain were afraid that similar revolutions would start in other countries of Europe. So they encouraged Hitler and the Nazis to come together against USSR. This was the policy of appeasement of Hitler. They wanted to please Hitler to get his support against the USSR. The immediate provocation for World War II was when the German army entered Poland on September 1, 1939. Hitler, a dictator of Germany, he given orders to Poland that hand over the Danzig port to the Germany. The Poland refused to hand over the Danzig port to the Germany. Hitler thought that it is a small military operation, but the Poland have a defense pact with the Britain. So Britain joined with the Polish side and France also joined a day later. And this was marked as beginning of World War II. The Axis powers led by Germany, Italy and Japan. In the same other side, the Allied powers led by England, US, France, USSR. In 1941, Japan, an ally of Germany, attacked the Pearl Harbor of USA. Hitler decided to attack USSR in 1942. With this, USA and USSR joined the war against Germany and Japan. The defeat and the end. The starting of World War II, the victories of German armies were turned back after they were defeated in the famous Battle of Stalingrad in early 1943. The Soviet forces captured Berlin, the capital of Germany. Hitler and his close associates committed suicide to avoid being captured and tried. Eventually, Germany was divided into two parts. The eastern part was named German Democratic Republic (GDR) and the western portion was named as Federal Republic Germany (FRG). The GDR came under the area of influence of USSR while the FRG came under the influence of USA. The Japan surrendered to USA after the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. With this, the Second World War was ended in 1945 August month. The US occupied Japan but allowed the Japanese emperors to continue to rule, but Japan built a constitutional monarchy like England. Japan was to be ruled by the elected government responsible to the parliament. After the end of World War II, the USA came up with a Marshall Plan to fund the economic revival of Germany and Japan. Consequences of the World Wars. By 1950, the countries like India, China, Indonesia, Vietnam, Egypt, Nigeria, etc. became independent. And also, the two new superpowers emerged on the world scene, the USSR and USA. The first consequences of the two world wars was widespread deaths and injuries. As stated earlier, almost 10 million people were killed in the First World War, and the Second World War, nearly 20 to 25 million soldiers were died. The second one, democratic principles asserted. With the First World War, the several empires also ended. For example, Austro-Hungarian Empire, Russian Empire, Ottoman Empire. They became a socialist republics or democratical republic. Example, the Ottoman Empire was replaced by democratic and secular state in Turkey. The third one, change in the balance of power. The First and Second World War, the Britain has the most powerful country before the war. But after the Second World War, Russia and USSR became the powerful countries. The fourth one, enfranchisement of women. After the long struggle for political right, like right to vote, the British women got these rights in 1918. In Russia also they have given in 1917, and all the adult franchise was got right to vote in British 1928. For example, our India also gave right to vote for all the sections of citizens of India in 1950s only. When constitution was implemented, came to effect, from that day only the universal adult franchise got right to vote. The last one, the new international organizations. The United Nations organizations UNO was established after World War II in place of League of Nations. And also UNO have some aims and that four principles, that is preserving peace, upholding human rights, respecting international law, and promoting social progress. And also few organizations and agencies are there for these UNO. They are UNICEF, UNESCO, WHO, ILO, and International Court of Justice.